Like me saying Hassan viewers are real individuals. I know a lot of Hassan viewers, and they really don't like it when you call them Hassan viewers. I don't know why they're so like embarrassed by it, but I went through a Hassan phase for like a week, and then at the end of it all, I'm like, God, it's so easy to get laid. It's just like, yeah, like, dude, Mars is low key right. Like, you just need to like spew out liberal propaganda. Everyone talks about how the nice guy trope isn't real, dude. Bullshit. Okay, like fuckboys and like players or whatever. Playboys are just people who like know what the correct phrases are. Hassan and Destiny are two sides of the same coin of getting laid from liberalism. Hassan just says all the right words, and bitches swoon. He's also just an incredibly good looking guy. And then Destiny is the other side of liberalism, where you're not necessarily saying all the right things, but you're saying it confidently, and bitches swoon. I know those are entertaining that incels are incels because of their looks. You know, everyone says that, but incels are really ugly. I hate. Can we talk about? Okay, I don't want to use the term virtue signaling because I feel like it's just such a fucking. What's the word I'm looking for? It's such a buzzword, but I hate it when people talk about how like looks don't matter and that like every human life is valuable. Dude, I'll say it, motherfucker. If you're ugly, you're just, dude. I'm sorry, but you're just unlucky. Like, yeah, I've seen the thing. It's like, oh, look at this fucking ogre of a man. It's like he's just a mediocre looking guy. Like he's just. Guess what? Newsflash: you're also not gay. Like I'm sure there are plenty of mediocre women that you find very attractive because you like women, and I'm sure there are plenty of. If you were gay, all right, I'm sure there would be plenty of mediocre men that you would find attractive. Like I find it unbelievable that women like penis and dudes. Like that's like I still can't wrap my head around it. You know what I mean? As far as I'm concerned, it's just been like it's the internal inside joke is that they find men attractive, right? You're not gay? Okay. All right. I'll break this down in like the simple. I'll break it down in the simple terms, aka league terms. Okay. Let's say you're doing a tier list. Okay, and you're doing a tier list on hottest characters in League of Legends. And let's say, just for the sake of argument, that you're doing two separate tier lists, one for women and one for men. And let's say, for the sake of argument, that the weird ones are like Yordles, or I guess if you want Yordles, but like miners are out of the question, like Rek'Sai is out of the question if you want, right? Like the weird shit's out of question. And or maybe, actually no, I'd scratch that. The weird ones are in play. Rek'Sai's in play, Urgot's in play, Cassiopeia's in play, etc., etc. Okay? As a man, you are going to have different tastes than your other fellow man. You might find Cassiopeia hot, they might find Cassiopeia not hot. You might not find Rek'Sai hot, they might find Rek'Sai hot. Right? Etc., etc. And this can go even further. Like, I think Caitlyn looks gross in Arcane. I think, as an adult. Oh, that sounds so fucking bad. Post-time skip, I think Caitlyn looks gross. Okay? Right? And you have like these different right, you have these different varying opinions, like what's a better example? I don't think Silco is attractive, right? From as a man, when I look at him, I go, I don't think Silco's attractive, but I'm sure there are plenty of women that think Silco is really hot, right? And by the same token, like there are going to be, because I'm not gay, right? Like I'm not gay, so I can't appreciate the little intricacies that women have when they come into play. Like there are men who is a groomer, yeah, but if you groom someone to be your, it's not like sexual though. It's like it's more of a kidnapper, like a Stockholm syndrome type of. I'm not gonna get stun locked. Also, bitches love criminals. They love murderers and true crime. I think that's why they're always so afraid of crime, is because they love it so much, or they like just like surround themselves with it. I'm not gonna get stun locked, okay? Like there definitely been times where I'm like, I find this woman really attractive because she's like very mediocre. Like she has just like She has a very like average. She has very average features in a way that makes her above average to me, type of thing. You know what I mean? Like there are when you discuss physicality, in my mind, right? I'm just looking from the male perspective. It's the only perspective I can provide. When you're talking about attractiveness and traits between women, like you are going to have outliers. You are going to have certain things that you value over certain things that other people will not value. I think the same thing is applied for women, where women go, you know, like we've all seen the trends where it's like, yeah, I want a guy who's like medium ugly type of thing. Where like, yeah, it's heartbreaking to hear, right? And women would probably like, I know plenty of women who would just start sobbing if their like boyfriend described them as medium ugly, even though they'd be totally willing to do the same, or the vice versa, right? I think men do a very similar thing, where it's like, you know what, I'm very attracted to like average looking women. You know, it's the same kind of thing. Where like if I look at a guy and I'm like, because the only context I have for attractive guys is what I understand the societal like norm to be. You know, like I know what traits are desirable on a population scale, and so when I see people with those traits, I go, yeah, they're attractive, right? And they want to sit there and talk like, oh, it's personality. I just think women, for whatever reason, they like think they're better than me, I guess. They like think that they're above physicality. It's like, you just think Pete Davidson's attractive. Like, it has nothing to do with, like, yeah, he's funny, and I'm sure that's a factor, right? But you just also find him physically attractive. Like, you just think he's not a bad-looking guy. I find men attractive? No, that's what I'm trying to tell you. I don't think you do. I think there are certain men who are designed in such a way or exist in such a way now today with the societal standards that we have that you just know that they are attractive, not that you are attracted to them. I could be tripping. I mean, like you obviously know you better than you. But whenever I say like, oh, that guy's a good-looking guy or a handsome guy, right? Usually I'm lying, A, or B, it's just because I know that like he has the traits that he's supposed to have. Like whenever I've almost never reacted. I don't think I've ever reacted to a face reveal positively. I've only ever reacted to a face reveal neutrally. Does that stop me from every single time being like, holy, what a handsome young man? No, okay, because it's called being a gentleman. It's called not being rude. You don't think you would be more attracted to a top 10% attractiveness guy to a bottom 10% girl? I think that that's a straw man. I think that's ad hominem. Yeah, obviously, I mean, dude, bottom 10% of women are like, dude, they're like physically deformed. They're like Malala right after she got shot in the face. Like, it's so bad. I don't think you appreciate how disgusting bottom 10% is. It's just not really, it's too drastic of a comparison. Dude, dude, look, I'm an ally, all right? I think that disabled people deserve love too. But like, dude, do you understand how ugly bottom 10% is, dude? And how attractive top 10% is? It's just not like, it's not fair. About 25%, bottom 25% compared to top 25%. I think if you were to take the very bottom of the top 25% and the very top of the bottom 25%, I think legitimately it's not going to be a super strong argument, but I think there is fair play. Like, I think there could legitimately be some sort of discussion about it. But generally speaking, yeah, you're obviously going to find the top 25% more attractive, but I think even then I would still believe that it's just because the top 25% are like of men are just going to have traits that I understand are attractive versus the bottom 25% of women. A lot of them is going to be like, I guess okay. Let me phrase it in maybe a way that you can understand, being the graduate student or graduate that you are. Okay? I think when it comes to men viewing or rating the attractiveness of women and women rating the attractiveness of men, I think that the basis of their scale is a lot more visceral, right? It's a lot more instinctual. It's a lot more intrinsic versus if I was a man rating assuming I'm not homosexual, right? If I'm a man rating another man, or even I'm hesitant to say women versus women because like the beautification of women in media is like a very socialized thing. It's like a very societal thing, which is why I think a lot of people find women, even women, find women pretty and like men are gross. But like, let's just say for the like simplicity, I think when men are rating men or women are rating women, they're doing it a lot on a lot more of an objective scale, on a lot more of like a you know what's their canthal tilt type of thing. Not like not as objectively. I don't think they realize they're doing it as objectively. I hear what you're saying. Okay, I'm glad. I thought I had to explain it to you like that. Maybe. What if you take genitalia out of the question? Well, then it's like a whole different. I mean, I'm not rating their genitalia, right? I think I don't even know what that means. I don't know what that means in the context of the question. You're just saying like beautiful human beings. I think even I'll even go as far like this is to like harken back to the comment I made about how like I think women are beautified and femininity is like praised or whatever. I think if you were to do a global survey, I think if you were to do a survey that contains the whole world, aka the Western world, because that's the only world that matters. If you were to do a survey and they were supposed to vote on the top 100 most beautiful people in the world, I think a lot of them will be women. I think a good chunk of the men who are included in the list will be very feminine. And I think there may be a couple, like, you'll get like the occasional Brad Pitt, like George Clooney, Marlon Brando thing, right? But I don't think it's gonna be like it's just gonna be the men who are just gonna be like, yeah, he's a good looking guy. Like Jared Leto is gonna be pretty fucking of the men. Jared Leto is gonna be like really high on that list. You know, this might be a hot take. I think Jason Momoa would be on that list, but like for whatever reason, it feels like he would be like a dude. Is it fucked up to say that I think Jason Momoa is feminine? Is that true? Do I really think that? I don't know that I don't think it. I mean, he has long hair, and he is kind of a bitch. Dude, if I took steroids, I'd look like Jason Momoa too. Shit, Jason Monka.